In the summer of 1908, something extraordinary happened deep inside Siberia.
The region was enormous, isolated, and far from major cities.
Life in the region moved quietly, following the rhythms of nature. Few people could have imagined that the landscape was about to change forever.
It began on the morning of June 30.
Witnesses later described an astonishing light appearing across the sky.
People across the region noticed something they had never seen before.
The strange brightness stretched across a huge area.
Witness accounts would later provide some of the most fascinating clues. Descriptions of the event were recorded and passed from one person to another. Then came an extraordinary atmospheric disturbance.
The event was so powerful that its effects were noticed over a remarkable distance.
Scientists soon began searching for an explanation. But reliable information from the remote region was difficult to obtain. The location itself presented a major challenge. Reaching the remote area required a difficult journey.
Years would pass before researchers could properly investigate the region.
We should follow the river through the pass. It seems the safest route given the snowfall.
Agreed. I'll note the coordinates for the drone path.
When researchers finally examined the area, they discovered something remarkable. The landscape contained clues that suggested an enormous force had passed through the region. Measurements and observations became essential pieces of the investigation.
Every detail was carefully documented.
The scale of the phenomenon was difficult to understand.
The evidence raised a much bigger question.
What exactly had happened above this remote corner of Siberia? As researchers studied the region, the unusual pattern became harder to ignore.
The team recorded the position and direction of the trees across the landscape. Their notebooks became an important record of what they discovered.
The pattern suggested that an enormous force had moved through the area.
Scientists began comparing the field observations with witness accounts.
Back in laboratories, scientists searched for possible explanations.
Astronomy and atmospheric science offered several possibilities. One possibility involved an object arriving from space.
Researchers considered whether a cosmic object had entered Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere could explain some of the unusual observations.
But scientists still needed to explain the extraordinary scale of the event. Different explanations were proposed and carefully debated. Some theories focused on a space object breaking apart high above the ground.
Today, many researchers consider an atmospheric event to be the most likely explanation.
Modern simulations have helped scientists understand what may have happened.
Simulations can reproduce several features reported by witnesses.
Historical observations and modern science can now be studied together. The remote landscape still preserves the atmosphere of the mystery.
Researchers continue visiting the region to study its environment.
Modern measurements help researchers compare today's landscape with historical records. More than a century later, the original mystery still attracts scientific attention. Space science has provided new tools for understanding unusual atmospheric events. The location remains one of the most remote areas associated with a major atmospheric event. Yet one question still fascinates people. Exactly what entered the atmosphere that morning? The answer may be hidden somewhere between Earth and the vastness of space.
Today, scientists can recreate possible versions of what happened in 1908.
The leading explanation involves an object that released enormous energy high above the ground.
Look at this entry here. The coordinates match the anomaly.
Yes, the supernova occurred exactly as predicted in the manuscript.
It is a rare case where historical observations can be compared with modern science. Earth's atmosphere can transform the way incoming space objects behave.
Modern telescopes now watch the skies for similar objects.
The goal is to understand unusual objects before they become a mystery.
Most are harmless, but studying their paths helps scientists understand potential risks. Careful observation is one of the best ways to understand our cosmic neighborhood.
Meanwhile, the remote Siberian landscape remains largely unchanged.
Researchers continue to document the region and preserve its historical significance.
The story is now preserved through photographs, maps, and scientific records.
Together, these records allow us to compare the past with the present. Even a century later, researchers continue finding useful details in old evidence.
The Tunguska Event remains an important subject in planetary science.
It also reminds us that Earth is constantly moving through a busy cosmic environment.
Our planet is protected by its atmosphere in ways we rarely notice.
And sometimes, the sky gives us a spectacular reminder of that protection.
Scientists continue watching the heavens for clues.
From handwritten maps to modern satellites, our ability to study such events has changed dramatically.
Yet the original mystery still connects generations of scientists.
More than 100 years later, the forest remains a silent witness to the extraordinary event.
We may never know every detail of that morning. But the Tunguska Event continues to remind us that sometimes The greatest mysteries begin high above us.